each month, my plan is to have a presentation for you to hopefully help bring AMSA alive to you, right? Bring it right to your front door. You can see the kids' pictures, some other surprises, I hope, and just a way to communicate the way that I communicate, which is kind of a little bit more off the cuff than Anders. So today we're going to take a quick look at the MCAS update. We had some MCAPs this week. Just give you an update on transition. A moment to express a little bit of gratitude. The enrollment update that Roger mentioned. The community outreach. Each month I'm also going to update you on what we're doing out in the community so that you can see the different companies that we're working with. And then something that I'm going to call Razzle Dazzle time. So we'll get to that at the end. Okay, MCAS update. So Sarah Snow did an absolutely fantastic job, along with all the teachers and administrators and everyone that helped her out, running a very successful administration of the English MCAS on March 26th and 27th. And so we'd like to say thank you to everyone who took part in that. That is a huge undertaking. It was different this year for the 10th grade. It was on the computer. And so it was new, and that first day was very long for the kids. But they did a fantastic job. And then next week we have the lower school ELA MCAS too, and Sarah will be running that for us. Good. All right, so the transition, it happened. And as you heard, here's a lovely picture of Brianna, is our new vice principal. We're absolutely thrilled to have her. Mike Naraki took the helm as principal on March 1st. Could not be happier. And Mike actually this week moved into the office with Anders and I, so now there's 3 of us sharing that space. So Anders has his desk and his table, and Mike and I both have desks, but it's working out very well. We all get along so well, and the team, is there and deeply established. So it's been fantastic, and then that's Anders and I at the UNICEF event that we spoke at. But anyway, so we're right on schedule. Everything has been completed at this point and seems to be falling into place. Next one, thanks. Okay, so a moment of thanks. First, I would not be here tonight without all of you on our board. And I once again want to thank you for the confidence that you've shown in me and for the trust. I look forward to many years ahead of working with you and for you. This has been an amazing transition, right? Roger had been working with us on this since the beginning of December, and so it's been quite a process. It's nice to have it to kind of pop out on the other end of it. It's been quite a roller coaster. I'd also like to thank all of our teachers, counselors, and staff. Everyone in the community has been overwhelmingly supportive of everything that we've done. I'm so grateful to Anders for all that he did over the past 2 years. And many people expressed thoughts that it was a natural progression that they more or less expected to see happen. So people have been wonderful and kind, and it's really been just kind of a very low-level transition. So, and once again to our students who have reached out with emails and just they just took it in stride, and our parents also. So, just grateful to everyone. And our administrative team, especially our new team that we have in place. I have never had an opportunity to work with such wonderful people as we have the opportunity to work with each and every day here at AMSA. And it certainly is one of the keys to our success. And never a day will ever go by that I'm not grateful for my friendship and my association with Dr. Lewis. It certainly has changed my life in so many ways. I could go on and on about the things that I've learned from him and the gratitude that I feel for him. I look forward to our continued partnership and friendship.
And you were going to announce that you're now a Yankees fan.
And I will never announce that I have become a Yankees fan, but I'm grateful. Thank you, Dr. Lewis, for all that you've done. Thank you. Okay, next one. All right, so now we're going to get into our report on our enrollment. So we had our lottery on February 27th, and this is where the numbers fell. At the moment, we have 103 students that we've taken in. These are the different numbers from each town. You'll see that we took in 58 students from Marlborough this year. You may remember the last year we were not able to take Marlborough students, but we're back up again. So that's where it falls right now. Now, that's not saying that these are going to be exactly the same even next week, because, you know, people decide, they change their minds. And so as someone drops off, Linda then will just fill it. At the moment, we're looking at 103, but there's a possibility we could add more. And it kind of would depend on how many from the 11th grade, if other students leave. The goal is to get to 966. So, you know, will we bring in a few more here or there? Maybe, but they'll come off the wait list, which we'll get to in a minute. We also brought in 19 students in grade 7 this year, and that's basically because we brought in a very small class currently in 6th grade. And as the students are graduating, we have a bigger senior class graduating this year. There's 119 of them. Last year there was just 102. So we were able to take in a few more 7th graders this year. Okay. Student enrollment, you'll see, you know, we've had number issues in the past, and we're bringing those back under control. You'll see that we had 984 students in 17-18. We're at 973 today, and we will be at 966 in September. That's the goal, and that's an easy goal to reach. We've definitely got the situation with our numbers under control, so we should be all set for September. All right, so just to kind of, you know, give you an idea of what we're looking at for each grade. This is current, 106 in 6th, 144 in 7th, 158, 159, 152, 135, and 119. And, you know, you'll see that our 12th grade class is going to be bigger. But the goal is, and eventually, and I have a chart over here if you're interested, and it's part of our, it's on the website, but it's, the goal is 140. And we will reach that in a fairly short amount of time. I can take a look. It's like 2 or 3 years. We're basically going to have about 140 in all of these younger grades, and then these here, this will always be a little bit lower. Okay? And then just a chart, enrollment by town. And you can see light blue, this is Marlboro. Maynard is in yellow, and Hudson is in orange, Clinton is in gray. And then this is, you know, others, because we still have a lot of siblings coming in from outside towns. And that is where we are for this year. Okay. All right, so attrition. We was asked about attrition, and this is current information. So as of today, we've had throughout, this is the whole school year from the end of August right up through today. We've had 2 11th graders leave AMSA. One moved out of the country, and one returned to their sending district in 11th grade. In 10th grade, we had 2 students, and one moved out of state, and the other one returned to sending district. In 8th grade, we also had 2 students that returned to their sending district. In 7th, we had 2 students that left. One moved out of state, and one returned to sending district. And in 6th grade, we had 2 students that moved out of state, for a total of 10 through the school year. And here's our waitlist report. If you wanted to click on this, it does give all the numbers that Linda has put together for the actual waitlist if you're interested. But you can see, I guess this is probably the most interesting line at the bottom. So 6th grade, we still have 265 applications on the waitlist, 154 in 7th, 96 in 8th, and 149
Ellen,
in 9th. Yes?
how do non-core town people get on the wait list?
These are siblings. Well, they're on.
3 6th graders who are not from the core towns are on the wait list.
They can apply, and they still would end up on the wait list.
Oh, okay. So
Right.
they're not in the lottery.
They are part of the lottery, but they would get bypassed.
Yeah.
So if
Bottom of the lottery.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
They
If
can
you
still
think about
be
it,
on.
like last year when Marlboro, they couldn't take any Marlboro, it's possible you could end up with non-core town people if there weren't enough to fill the slots.
and we actually did in 9th grade. We had depleted all the way through in like October, November. We couldn't take from the Marlboro list, and we had depleted all the other core towns because they usually have less students on the list. And so we had to pull from those non-core towns. So we did take in about a half a dozen students from outside the core towns into 9th grade last year. Okay, so then I want to each month give you...
Sorry, one more question.
Sure.
So we took in no 8th graders or 9th graders via the lottery.
That is correct. they will only be taken off the wait list as each student leaves, so they'll be just backfill. Yep. Okay, community outreach. Mark Vital has done an amazing job with community outreach. We talked about it at the governance meeting earlier this month. And I just wanted to give you a quick rundown of the different companies that he's working with. And it's at different levels of involvement. And you can take a look at the details, which I won't go over with you now because it will take me 20 minutes. But each month I want to highlight the work that he's done because I think it's so important, especially to the development and the direction that we're heading in as a school. But we're looking at companies like Boston Scientific, Digital Credit Union, Dow DuPont, GE Healthcare, Hewlett-Packard Enterprises, IPG Photonics, iRobot, next page, Quest Diagnostics, Raytheon, Synovian, Thermo Fisher, TJX, Viastat, and Zeiss, I think it's Zeiss. As I said, each one of these is at a different level of involvement. And I think over time, we're gonna need to really look at this again and say, how many relationships do we want to have and how deep are they going to go? Because you can't necessarily manage 20 or 30 different relationships with different companies if some of them start really becoming deeply involved with us. Synovian, for example, I'll just tell you very quickly, they've had 4 students that they've been working with this year, and it was a competitive selection that they went through with Mark and Synovian. And then these students have gone over to the company, and they've had some of their very top scientists working with our students to teach them about the brain and how it functions. These are seniors. And the idea was they would get all of this time with these scientists, teach them a lot of information, that they would create a curriculum that they would come back here then and teach to our 7th graders. And so they're going to be working with one of our 7th grade science teacher, Nicole. And the curriculum now, the girls created the curriculum. There was 4 female seniors that were selected. They've now created the curriculum. They have pitched it back to Synovian. They've made some additions to it. It's come back to them, and now they're getting ready to work with the 7th grade students in presenting that curriculum. I believe it's going to be at the end of April, the beginning of May. Each one of those students will receive a $2,500 scholarship from Synovian. So there's also, he's working with Quest Diagnostics, and they're creating an anti-opioid video with the juniors, along with people at Quest. So he's doing some fantastic work. Next one. Okay, so I wanted to just tell you a little story. Liz, how am I doing on time?
You have another minute.
Oh gosh, okay, I can't do it in a minute. All right, so.
Don't worry, I'll give you some of my time.
Thank you.
Yes.
Arbitrary amount of time.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do better next month. Okay, so here we go. This is a picture of a group of superintendents and other administrators that are all part of the Massachusetts Association of School Superintendents. That's me in the middle, and I took a trip with this group to Iceland. And it was an amazing opportunity. I went with Lisa Tebow. She's our 8th grade science teacher here. You can see Lisa over here. What was interesting about this trip that I wanted to share with you is that a charter school or membership, people from a charter school have never traveled with this group. In fact, they don't allow charter school administrators to be part of their group. And this was the first time, and I didn't realize that I was a unicorn. And when I went to meetings, they introduced me and they said, "Oh, they're from charter school, and they maybe will answer some questions for us." And then, as I just was with the group, I came to realize that many of them really didn't want me there, which was a very hard thing for me to understand because I had never really found myself in a situation like that before. And when I would go to have breakfast with some women who were my age that I thought that they would enjoy some time chatting, I was met with some pretty cold greeting. And so I didn't quite understand until this past January. We got together for a reunion, and a couple people came up to me and said, we had decided that we weren't going to like you, and we didn't really want to have anything to do with you. We didn't really want you traveling with us. But gee, we decided that we like you. So I was shocked because we're all grown-ups, And, but what has come out of this Iceland trip, because when we were there, the man that runs it, and he does these trips every year, and he part of the association, his name's Tony Bent, we started talking about charter schools, and he was very, very interested. And the more we talked, I said, Tony, come down. Come meet us. Our doors are open to you here at AMSA. Come down and talk to us. And so he said, really? Would you host us? I said, yes, we want to host you. Please come. So I started getting emails from him after our January reunion, and they're coming. They're coming April 10th. We have 8 superintendents, assistant superintendents coming from Westwood, Hopkinton, Watertown, and Shrewsbury. They're going to spend a half a day here. They're going to go to 3 classes, spend 20 minutes with our teachers. They're going to spend time with Anders and I and the other administrators to talk about charter schools. So it's super exciting, and this is building bridges, right? This is the beginning. My goal is maybe someday they'll invite me to come to one of their meetings. And I'm going to travel with them again in October, and we're going to go to Vancouver. So I'm very, very excited about it, not necessarily for Vancouver as much as building the bridges with our public school counterparts, because charter schools are here to stay, and they're all our kids, and we all need to work together to educate our kids. Okay, so razzle-dazzle time, here we go. So who, what, where, when, and why in the world would she call it razzle-dazzle time? Because I want to razzle and dazzle you each month to get to know our kids in our school. For those of you who are parents, you know a lot. But maybe for those who aren't, you don't get to see how wonderful our kids are and why those of us who are here every day love being here so much. So that's razzle-dazzle time. Okay, this is quick celebrations. This is our AMSA math team placed first among small schools in a state math championship on March 24th. This is the 3rd consecutive win out of the last 4. They did a fantastic job. You can see Matt Villa here in the background. There's several other teachers that work with them. We're super proud of them. This is just to advertise a little bit. This is the AMSA International Festival, which is happening this Saturday. All our families get together. I'm going to have a table there for Guatemala, and it's going to be a fantastic day. So join us if you can, 11:30 to 2:30 over at Four Kicks. And this is just a little plug for our science night, and come see what our amazing science students are doing. Scott, I was with him today. He's working so hard, getting everything all ready. This is 6 p.m. here in the upper school. There's a reception over at the hotel across the street, starting at 5. Please join us. Okay, so razzle-dazzle time. This is a short video that I would love for you to watch. Maybe you indulge me on my first night here. These are students from Peter Prue's 9th grade Modern World History Honors class. They did a World War I gala, and they had these little mini projects. It's a 2-minute video, but I think it gives you an insight and a feel for what's happening inside of our classrooms and the level these are 9th grade students, the level that they're being taught. So this is the AMSA Black Student Union honored AMSA's Unsung Heroes, and they did it over a period of weeks. And this is a beautiful little 1-minute video of this Black Student Union had gotten together, and they had created these thank you bags. And they presented them to all the substitute teachers here at the school. Very, very heartwarming, very sweet. And the substitutes thanked them and told them how much it meant to them to be recognized in that way. It was very, very sweet. Also on the website, so take a look when you have a chance. All right, this is just to let you know that this is the kind of work that the counselors are doing this year. They're having monthly opportunities for parents to come in the morning over to Four Kicks, and they're having little workshops with them. The one March 1st was Coping with Challenge. They're doing iGen, discussion about technology's impact on the youth, and then dealing with conflict. They're doing a fantastic job getting more information out to our parents all the time.
How long is each session?
They're about an hour. Yep. Okay, just some photos here. We had an adult talent show. You can see there's some of the receptionists there, and Bethany Bartolini. These are our merit scholarship. We have 2 finalists there with Mike and Brianna. This was the Women's Day conference that Anders and I spoke to with UNICEF. They're beautiful, beautiful, beautiful kids. We have a curling team here at AMSA. You might not be aware of that. It's a club team. Peter Prue runs that with a bunch of students. They came in second in the curling in Massachusetts this year. So that's a new, and it's club. It's not part of our sports program. And then you can see we had our DC trip recently. A couple pictures from DC. Ashley Palladini's in here with Liz Morena. And in here you have a bunch of our history crew at a wax museum, and you can imagine the good time they had there. Over here, this is a cappella, and then we have our fantastic Quiz Bowl team over here in the corner. Thanks, Jess Bowen, for all your work with Quiz Bowl. But they're a fantastic group of kids. And the end, we are so looking forward to spring here at AMSA, right? Everybody's waiting for the warmer weather. And this is a picture that was taken years ago, but you can see the flowers. They smell bad, but I can't wait for them to bloom again. And so that is my ED report. Thank you so much for your patience. Appreciate it.